see, like, there's no way I can kill him. It's a straight up farm lane. Where he should slowly get a CS lead. Or even if you've seen me play against Viper play GP. Viper's GP is pretty good. I want to watch Prestige Skin gameplay with you, Adrian. Prestige Skin, what is that? I don't know what you're talking about. Does Fiora counter GP? No. GP counters Fiora. GP has barely any lane counters. Like, there's very few. That's why he gets picked at Worlds, by the way. If you've been paying attention, GP gets picked a lot. Imagine, think of GP as, you actually know what counters him? GP, Lucian counters GP in lane pretty hard. Lucian does pretty well. So think of it this way: everyone picks GP at Worlds it's like the AD version of picking Vladimir. No one can actually kill Vladimir or GP if they play perfectly. They're just scaling monsters that eventually would kill you. I'm playing against Garen. Sweet. Let's go. What about Electrocute to trade early against GP? It's worse because Electrocute does less damage for an all-in. It's better for short trading. But the thing is, like, if you short traded with GP all the time, he just sustains back and he just keeps poking you. It doesn't really work out. And if you get past level 6, level 7 with Electrocute, you do less damage than if you had a Conqueror. So you end up getting fucked by it. But then you have a Lucian top. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. If you pick Lucian top to counter at GP, then you have a Lucian top, and if the game gets past like 20 minutes, and the Lucian doesn't have an insanely massive lead, you lose the game. Okay, so let's see how many mistakes I make this game. So now I know if there's a matchup I can't kill, and they have a good jungle combination, I can't even touch them once, or it's technically a mistake. Also, Adrian, I've heard some analysts saying that Fiora will be picked against GP at Worlds. You think so? I don't think so. But if it does happen, that'd be pretty hype. Who counters GP in the late game then? Kennen? Question mark? Not many champions counter him late game now. I don't actually know. Actually Vladimir might counter him. Kassadin counters him. Late game Jax might counter him. Are you playing versus Klepto and Nivea? I think it's Garen top lane. It should be a Nivea mid lane. Klepto against Kassadin, so he can get a bunch of pucks against it. If it's a Nivea top lane, then it's just a farm lane, and we're just 50-50ing the game basically. Garen can't kill a Kassadin, so. Fiora can kill GP later on in the game in the side lane. I could see that, maybe. With Conqueror and actually just having a bunch of items. Might be able to, yeah. But can she tower dive a GP? Probably not, right? So it would probably end up just being a situation where they're just farming against each other. Even if the Fiora just focuses the tower, she should get poked down or hit pretty hard by the GP, you know? So So I don't have to worry about Kayn ever killing me. It's Kayn. Kayn doesn't really offer that much for jungle ganks. It's just a scaling champion that tries to 1v9 later in. If the Garen plays properly, I shouldn't be able to kill him, but I should have pressure all the time compared to him, so I can help out my jungler anytime he needs it. I ended up winning that trade. That's nice. So I think that changed with Garen is that I think he's just way squishier than before, which is super nice. He just does a lot more damage, so you have to trade according to that. So before, what happens is that if you all in him, he would be too tanky and he would do 2 rotations on you and kill you if you fucked up. Now you can actually just kill him with the initial rotation as long as you don't fuck up your combo. So I feel like the matchup got a lot easier, but a lot of you guys seem to be having a lot of issues with him. But that might just be because your combos are not fast enough, or you're messing up your auto attacks in between in the trades. Past level 6, this matchup got so much easier for Rven. Yeah, like the guy can't play the lane. I don't really like the new changes to Garen for the extra damage. I feel like it's not good enough. Your gem bloodline? Yeah, I have. I've actually been just messing with alacrity the last few days. Dude, I change my runes all the time. Yeah, this matchup got way easier. What is Garen's win rate after the patch? Did it go up or down? It probably went up for lower elo and went down for high elo, right? She's gonna flash Q, and I'm just gonna EW him. Yep. Because it's not fast enough. It's very reactable. If I had like 100 ping, I can't react to it. But he reacted to my double cast. Wait, actually, I didn't double cast. I fucked up. My W never came out. Damn, that fucking sucks. Okay, so he should have died, but I fucked up the double cast. My W never came out. That's a shame. It was the ping. No, it wasn't the ping. I legitimately fucked up. Did the combo incorrectly. If the stun comes in at the moment I flash, his W doesn't come out and he dies. Because he can't use his W while he's CC'd, you know? Okay. I'm gonna look to kill him if he gets a little bit too close and I manage to make him waste his W. I feel like most players expect me to flash combo them when they're low like that, if they've played against me multiple times in the past already. He has no flash. I wanna kill him with Mundo right here. One throw Q. There we go. So against this version of Garen, CDR rush is very, very important. However, raw AD can just win you the lane super easily. So like if I go BF sword here, it'd be beautiful. Instead of just going for pure CDR, because I could also just go for CDR boots plus Kindle gem, right? That would give me 40% or 35% as I scale up. But I'm gonna do this instead. That with a pink ward. He's actually squishier. Garen? Yeah, I know. That's what makes the matchup much easier now than before. Doesn't get a shield. Yeah, but he used to get like 60% damage reduction. Now he only gets 30% plus that shield for like 0.5 seconds. You ended up covering up a lot more damage with the old W than the new one. If he walks up a little bit too close now, I'm gonna all-in him all the time because I have a lot of raw AD to actually kill him. I need my ulti though. If I don't have ulti, he actually kills me. And that would not be fun. But this is what I mean, like, technically, if Garen plays it perfectly, he should never die. It should be farm lane, but the problem is that it's a farm lane where Riven has the lane pressure instead of him, so tower. Exactly. So that's why I say, like, if you're playing a champion matchup where you can shove the wave and you have potential to help out your jungler at any time, you technically you have a winning matchup. If you don't, if you have a champion that's has no pressure whatsoever and it's just scaling champion, then you're just hoping that your jungler and your team doesn't get fucked too hard and you manage to stay alive until like 25 minutes until you outscale the damage of your opponent and you can start carrying the game that way, right? That's why people pick GP, Vlad, and all that, because those champions don't let champions like Riven and Renekton and all this stuff. Renekton's kind of the exception, actually. That's why he's been picked at Worlds a lot. But if you have a champion that can push the wave, that's a ranged matchup that scales, and also has control of the lane, those champions are the ones that are going to be picked almost all the time. Because technically, they put pressure early, right? More pressure early than the early game champions, and they scale better. You didn't talk so much. I feel like I'm running out of breath. Breathe, breathe. Don't worry, it's okay. You're not gonna die. Should we go for it? Yeah, we can go for it. Yeah. Thoughts on Quinn? She wins early game and doesn't let you put pressure, but she gets outscaled way too hard, even by champions like Renekton and all that. Quinn doesn't scale well at all. She's more like a Lucian top lane. Let's do this. I'm gonna get this because it's a Kayn, red Kayn. Executioner's counters them. Don't talk too much about ranged champions. Top laner Shinshin might appear. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the ranged champions. The thing is, like, if you're a ranged champion that doesn't let a melee push the wave at all, and you also scale better than him, and if you win early, you win mid, you win late game, you're ranged, that's fucking broken to me. Like, so what's the point? Why would you ever pick a different champion that's not them, right? In the pro scene, you're just gonna pick champions that scale well, right? Or that are good early game. Basically, champions that kind of do everything well. Like, okay, so they win early game, they win mid game, they win their late game, and they are able to wave control compared to other champions. Those are the most contested picks. Now that's balance fucking. That balance is fucking dog shit, and that's why champions like that like meet every single point of the game like that should be, you know, they shouldn't exist. That's kind of fucking bullshit, isn't it? That's pretty damn bad. I feel like a balanced League of Legends game in the end should be like where both champions have equal power, and it's just that outplay each other mechanically. If you want to play something that has no mechanics and you don't want to fight your opponent ever, and you want to play something that's just like CC heavy and you just help your team in team fights, that's fine. But if you want to give that up, you shouldn't have pressure early or be able to like 1v1 champions either. That's why tanks are dog shit right now, by the way, because they can't fight mechanical champions, or at least champions that try like bruisers. They can't fight them. All you can do is farm against them. And that's why in season 7, he's dead. I gotta let him go. I thought he was dead. In season 7, even though tanks were the most popular class for top lane, if you wanted to climb up into high elo, you would not pick tanks, because they don't give you the same percentage chance of actually carrying the game. You're actually 50-50 in the game. Question mark tank echo tank fizz. That was before. That was at the start of it, and they got nerfed. They got taken out fairly quickly. That was back when it was Gauntlet plus Sunfire. Everyone just rushed that. I'm talking about when those champions weren't playable based on that. You don't remember? Like they literally neutered the Gauntlet Sunfire build for those champions because people were. I was building Riven back then, and I would do Sunfire Gauntlet. That's how that's how stupid the items were. Tank Echo was the whole season though. He literally won Worlds. I don't know about winning Worlds. Usually you want to see, like I said, you want a champion that meets all like everything. So back then, when that was the most powerful champions, right? If you did, for example, if it was Echo, Tank Echo, right? Did Tank Echo beat other champions like any other bruisers? If he did, right? If he did, was he able to push the wave faster? Did he have more prio? Did he scale better? If all those questions are like, yeah, he's better. That's why the pro players pick them. That's what the pro players are looking for. What are the best top climbing top champions right now? Hold up, Thresh has to be here in this brush. I should initiate on him. I do have TP in 6 seconds, so yeah, he's there. The best champions for climbing right now I think they've always been bruisers. Like stuff like Irelia, Jax, they're the best ones for climbing. Percentage wise, like if you get ahead of your opponent with them, you do extremely well. You're able to actually carry the games with it. I have 2 people with me down here. Why is my team having such a hard time? However, once you get to an elo where people know how to play properly, the best thing you could possibly do is learn something like GP Kennen to climb, like where everyone is playing extremely well. Those champions are better. Irelia's really hard to learn in chat. I mean, Riven is relatively hard. Riven takes way more games than Irelia to learn, I'm pretty sure. And they're both really good for climbing. I'm just saying, like, I'm not talking about what champions take the easy, because if you just want to pick the easiest champion that carries harder, just pick Jax. There you go. You pick Jax, you win every game. Without spending too much time on the champion. Kennen and Vlad is just free on TBH. Kennen, Vlad, and GP are the best picks you can have currently for high elo, not for solo queue. Like if there's extremely good players playing against each other, those are probably the best picks you can have. Did I? Okay. They were committed too hard there. Nice. That's depressing, honestly. I mean, no, that's every game that you play, man. Doesn't matter what it is. There's always going to be champions or characters that are the meta, the ones that people pick because they're clearly the best. That's all you can do. There's none of these games are perfectly balanced where everyone has a chance, every character has a chance. That'd be awesome if that was the case, but that's just not how it is. Especially when there's so many variables. Like I've talked to Riot before, and they've told me, like, for example, like we were talking about, like I was talking with them about tanks and all that, and I was like, tanks are pretty weak. I think you guys need to do something to make them, you know, actually playable. And we were talking. They're like, okay, so tanks as champions, like theoretically, in a perfect world, what they want is for tanks to be champions that. Hold on. TP in here. I need to TP it up. Help them out. I can kill them. Okay, so tanks should be champions to them, according to Riot. From what I've been told, it's like they want tank champions to be basically bruisers in the early game that scale into being tanky, right? Their job is to tank for their team and have utility. But for the early game, they should be able to trade back with bruisers normally. But it should be, you know, like it shouldn't be like, oh, you just pick the tank and you don't take damage, you auto win, right? They don't want that. They want it to be more of like a skill situation, right? Say that you're playing Riven versus Shen, for example. If he gets a taunt or whatever, and he gets all his damage off, he should beat you. If Riven dodges everything and plays everything perfectly, then Riven should win, etc. But they scale differently. That's in a perfect world, right? That's what they want tank champions to be. They don't want tanks to just be champions that you pick, and they just get farmed by I don't know, ranged champions, or just ignored into basically doing nothing. But that's more difficult to do than just that's much difficult to do, or we call it the variables that you have to account for, like champions like Kennen and all that, just range farming with Klepto and all that, fucks over the entire thing. So it's easier said than done. Skilled tanks question. You know, it's like they don't want champions to just be like, I don't know, just fucking Mundo, just throw Q, do nothing, never trade, never do anything, just scale up. They don't want champions to be like that, I'm pretty sure. Because the way I look at it, it's like bruisers beat tanks because they shove in and they have more pressure early, and oh, let's go. Goodness. There should be. There we go. Holy shit. Careful, back up. So the way I look at it is ranged champions beat everything. Ranged champions that scale, that have self-peel, beat everything. Bruisers that go against tanks, bruisers win because they have more prio in the early game and they're able to help out jungler anytime. Ranged against tanks, they just get farmed with Klepto and all that, so ranged against tanks can't ever actually beat them. So in the end, it's like tanks are irrelevant. They don't beat anything. They don't do anything. That's why no one plays tanks right now. But at the same time, it's like, so how do you counter champions like Kennen, GP, Vlad, all that? You can't really kill them. They just scale up. Their weakness should be that they don't get to push the wave, right? And you get to push the wave and they don't. Against Vladimir, I feel like that's somewhat the case. You're able to pick champions, shove the wave, and you don't get poked as hard. But then if you go against something like a Kennen, GP, you can't do that freely. You get poked down way too hard. I can't be down here right now. I don't have TP. I need to go with my team. Ornn. I feel like if you pick Renekton, Riven, any bruiser, Jax or whatever, I feel like if you go against an Ornn, you should have more pressure than the Ornn. Like, the Ornn can't out-trade you 1v1. Unless you fuck up really fucking hard, I'm pretty sure. Like, I could be wrong here, but... Yo guys, help me. Yo, where's my help? Team? I gotta look at that fight after. What the fuck happened? Does my team can't ever actually help me in that situation? We got 3v5'd. We got 3v5'd there. We can't fight that? 3v5? I'm asking, no one's answering me. What do I want to do next? Last Whisper maybe? How much armor do they have? They don't actually have any armor. Oh, this guy has some armor, but... I was gonna go Death Dance next. Wait, we should just do Baron and smite it? Don't we just get poked down by the Anivia ulti then? Okay. Gotta look at that after. Where'd you go, BT? Oh, I went BT. I've been wanting to test it the last few days, so I've been building it. You should not keep tracing them, we should just get the tower. I'm gonna do this here because there's no other objective right now. Oh, you're kidding me. Then they actually checked that. Hey man, I can't get away. Oh, I got away. Nice. Man, I can't believe we actually lost. I feel like I got too distracted this game talking about random shit. Or not random shit, but like leak stuff. How could I maybe carry? Can I defend this? I probably can't, so we should just let it go. It's not over yet, but we did lose a lot. Oh, I can't move. Oh, I can't move. They have so much CC. Sorry for the distractions, I'll follow the chat's fault. Nah. Nah, I don't think so. I think I autopiloted this game pretty well. Like I still played super well, but why is no one? I feel like our team scales so well with Cassin and Mundo. How are they just doing whatever they feel like and it's working out for them? Someone is misplaying here for damn sure. Yeah, see, like Cassin should just fucking kill everything. What the fuck? He has enough for that, yeah. I almost have my death dance, I gotta get that. remember what happened, so we're gonna have an interesting time here.